Let's analyze the stock market trading session for today, Monday, March 28, 2022. This is a daily chart of the S&P 500. Big breakout today. Broke out of that range we were looking at for the last couple of trading sessions. I said breaks above that 100-day moving average 44.50 and it would be a buy. Dips below this level 44.50 and it could be a good short. Well, it broke out of this upper range, very bullish, close at the highs of the day, well above the 100-day moving average. And as a result, for the record, I am now long the S&P 500 via the UPRO triple leverage ETF. This setup is not one of my favorites. It would have been nice if it would have spent another session or two in this range and then break out, but it didn't. As a result, my trading size is a little bit smaller than usual, about half of what I normally risk. Today was the third day in a row up. My hard stop loss, worst case scenario is under 44.90, which is below Friday's low. This below that, no questions asked, I will get stopped out. However, my discretionary stop loss will be today's low. Breaks below today's low, and I will consider liquidating my position. Take my quick loss. So now what was resistance now becomes support. This area here on the way down. So that's the level that I'll be watching. The 100-day moving average, this pivot point around 40, 45, 40, and the 5-day moving average. Upside, this will be a very interesting level around 4,600 and 45.90. This has been a very strong resistance in the past. It was here, and you can even argue that it happened here and way back here also. So this will be a level that I'll be watching if we get there tomorrow. And if that's the case, then that would be 4 up days in a row. So my position, I'm not expecting big gains like, down here. Momentum is very low. High probability is going to go up, but the gains will be smaller. If we end up trading above that range tomorrow and then reversed lower, below that again, I will consider liquidating my position. No, I will liquidate my position if that's the case tomorrow. But if we end up pushing above this level and keeps going higher, then of course there's no reason for me to sell. But I think this will be a very important zone up here in the next session or two. Now the Nasdaq 100, this one was up today also, up big, 233 points or roughly 1.6%. This one has been the strongest of all the indices. This one has not even been able to trade below the previous session's low. So many up days in a row, with the exception of this one here. But look at the trend. It has been very strong, right in above the 100. No, not the 100, above the 5-day moving average. That's this blue line here. Look how strong the trend is. Look at the slope. If you draw a trend line, look how steep that is. And then today closed near the highs or at the high of the day. Very interesting level. This will be very interesting tomorrow. If it gets there tomorrow, of course. This level, that's where the 200-day moving average, the 100-day moving average, and this pivot point all kind of converge. Can it get above that tomorrow? We will see. This is a good pivot point also. Conclusion is approaching very strong resistance. I really doubt, I've been wrong before. If we can get, that would be very impressive, extremely impressive for me. If it can push about the 100-day moving average without pulling back below the 5-day moving average, that would be very, very impressive. We'll see how it behaves when it gets there. But this has been a very strong uptrend. No reason to short. Now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, this one had a positive day, not a big day for the Dow Jones, approaching very strong resistance, the 200-day moving average, the 100-day moving average, and this 35,000 pivot point. Upper range, I'm looking for resistance. This range for support will be this one down here. So really not much to do between here and here. Pushes above here, above this line, the 100. It could be a good buying opportunity. I hope it spends another trading session, 1 or 2 sessions, and then push above that. That will make it a very nice setup with a high probability of working out. But it looks like this one doesn't want to wait and wants to push above that level tomorrow. If that's the case, I'll just watch it. I'm not interested in buying now, especially that I'm long the S&P 500 and the semiconductors also. The Philadelphia Semiconductor Index, this one had a good day also. I am still long. Um, Remember when I bought here, I said my stop loss was going to be this low. And then on Friday, yesterday, the previous video, I mentioned to you guys that I would even consider selling, liquidating my position if it dipped below 34.50. Well, today I placed my stop loss like 10 points, 15 points below that point. And guess where the low of day was? 34.50. I really thought I was going to get stopped out, bounced from there, and never looked back. Closed very strong. It was able to push back above the 200-day moving average and the 5-day moving average. Resistance, small resistance around this area. I expect that to be minor. I will be more focused around this level, 3600 and the 100-day moving average if we get there. However, of course, if I see any type of reversal, I will start scaling out, especially if I see the other indices like the Nasdaq 100 and the S&P 500 selling off and this one's still, going higher. I will be very careful. I won't be greedy, and I'll just take my profits if I have any. My stop loss still can remain the same as of now, under 34.50, but of course I'll be watching real time, and if I see any type of a reversal, I can quickly liquidate my position. This one, so far, so good. This was very strong resistance here, and it has been proven to be very strong support now. That's classic technical analysis. Now for the Russell 2000 summary, this one is doing nothing. Here are the levels that I'll be watching. If it dips below that 50-day moving average, the purple, and then the pink, the 20-day moving average, this is where they converge. If it dips below that, where you see that green area, that could be a good short. If it pushes above this level, 210, it could be a good long. As long as we consolidate somewhat before it pushes above that level. Otherwise, we will be very close to that 100-day moving average, which could act as very strong resistance. This zone here between, say, 208 and, say, roughly 210 has been very strong resistance. Was resistance here, support here. support here, and back in April of last year, which would be somewhere around over here. In other words, it has been very strong uh, zone pivot for both support and resistance. So between here and here, really, there's nothing to do. It can be will be very choppy. I don't think there's much money to be made here. I think it's better to wait until it breaks out of this range, which will have a bigger move and a more predictable outcome. And yes, I could place this range if it comes back here and then it bounces, but I'm looking for a bigger move, not just 1 or 2 days. I hope these videos are helping you. Thanks for stopping by, and good luck trading tomorrow.